Volcano Manor is a location that you can access through various ways, all through one of my favourite characters, Raya. To understand more about the characters who inhabit this estate, we're going to start with her. Before we begin, I just wanted to mention something really interesting if you're a fan of Elden Ring, collecting things, or just art in general. Lock On are a premium gaming journal who are running a campaign for their latest edition, which features artwork from over 30 artists and developers, as well as many articles and interviews. There are tiers for deluxe backers and premium backers. Look at all these goodies that you can get. There are some awesome stretch goals as well that you can help reach. They've already hit 60k, which includes a beautiful A3 print for all deluxe backers, and the 70k one, which is an extra A5 print for all premium orders. Let's help them reach their goals and add some wonderful artwork to your collection, while supporting the creators at the same time.
All the more reason I must tell you that some things are better left unknown. Besides, no one should be blamed for their heritage.
Raya asks for our help in returning a precious item of hers, a necklace. When you return it to her, she tells us that she is seeking Brave Tarnished.
I seek Stalwart Tarnished, who might join our house. You are very brave yourself. Such strength is precisely what my mistress seeks.
She gives us a formal invitation and instructions on how to make the perilous journey to Volcano Manor. Should you find Raya at the lift, she will teleport you and introduce you to the lady of the manor, Tanith. Here you will learn more about what this house fights for.
Will you join us here at the Volcano Manor and resist the tide? Why accept the burden of their grace, or be fooled by the dogmatic ramblings of the Fingers? Rise with us against the Erd Tree.
Volcano Manor is in resistance against the Greater Will, and joining it is an act of blasphemy. Should you agree, Tanith will give you access to the manor. Entering the drawing room, you will find a letter that has been left for you. This letter contains a name. This is a contract. In order to join the group of champions, you must take out each other. If you confront Tanith about this, she will say that if you want no part in this, then that's fine, but you must leave at once.
This is a war against the Erd Tree. We have no place for the meek, nor the luxury of keeping clean hands.
In order to proceed with the Volcano Manor questline, you must defeat this Tarnished. There's nothing good or bad about them. They're just like you, another Tarnished trying to survive in this world. And defeating them is simply proving that you are just stronger than them. This explains why Raya says,
If you've any qualms confronting your own, I shall find another.
This was foreshadowing the labours that you have to endure in order to prove your worth. Returning to Tanith, she congratulates you on passing this initiation test and becoming a recusant. But it does not end here. This is just the beginning. Returning to the drawing room, you will find another contract there for you to complete. Another Tarnished to cut down without question. And this time Tanith will reward you with information to honour you with the tale of how Volcano Manor was founded by Rykard.
The Erd Tree blessed the Tarnished with grace, but it was all too meager in the face of the enormity of their task. The Tarnished were forced to scavenge, squabbling for crumbs, like the Shard Bearers vying for power in the wake of the Shattering. Our Lord, indignant, has refused to scurry about, fighting over what miserly scraps they allow us. If the Erd Tree, and indeed the very gods, would debase us so, then we are willing to raise the banner of resistance, even if it means heresy.
Interestingly, if you go to the drawing room now, something will have changed.
What's that peculiar look upon your face? Goodness, am I still a serpent? Oh, how dreadful. How dreadful indeed. This is my true form. My real name is Zarias. Lady Tanith is my mother. I am told I was born by the grace of a glorious king.
Through no fault of Zarias, you will come to see that this line
Lady Tanith speaks no falsehoods. And the Volcano Manor is just as it seems.
Is the biggest lie. Revealing to Tanith that you have seen Zarias in her true form, she begs you to be kind to her daughter.
Look after young Zarias. Her true visage belies the purity of her heart. Honestly, I hardly deserve the sweet child.
It's clear that she cares for her deeply as her adoptive mother. Adoptive being key here. We'll talk about who Zarias' real mother is later. But Tanith knows more than she lets on about Zarias' origin. If you reload the area and speak to Zarias again, she will tell you about things that have been worrying her here at the manor.
I saw something slithering in the pitch black of night. It entered the room next to this one and never came out. If I'm not mistaken, it took the form of a serpent, just like me. Does the Volcano Manor hide some secret that Lady Tanith has kept from me?
The adjacent room in question is bolted shut. What lies beyond this locked door? The answer can be found by hitting an illusionary wall. This will reveal a secret passageway. This will allow you to access the locked room from behind. And upon entering, you'll see a body on the floor. Who is this? Well, you can pick up the ashes of a depraved perfumer called Carman. Now, the relevance of this is that depraved perfumers practice heresy. This symbol on their garments is a curse upon the Erd Tree. So their agenda actually aligns with that of Volcano Manor. So this isn't just some intruder, it's an ally. Now, why would a fellow heretic be locked behind closed doors, his death being hidden? Well, let's first continue exploring the secret passageways. They will eventually lead out to the outer regions of the manor, and looking around at this environment, you will see cages, torture apparatus, and piles of dead bodies. Finally, we reach a church. Massive statues of snake-like creatures looming over us. And at the end of this church, there is an altar, and on it lies a serpent's amnion, a membrane that protects children when they're in the womb. This one in question being that of a serpent, an unwanted offspring of a repellent birthing ritual. This is the dark secret of Volcano Manor. But what does it mean exactly? Well, the serpent creatures, like Zarias, are called man-serpents. It is said that long ago the elder serpent that dwelled on Mount Gelmir devoured a demigod, and the birth of the man-serpents followed. That demigod is Rykard, and Zarias is an offspring of the great serpent. She was not in fact born from the grace of a king. Tanith lied to her, and it's up to you if you want to choose to set her on the path of truth.
Really? Oh, so there was a secret after all. Oh my. Lady Tanith, my own mother, has deceived me. What is this? I remember this scent distinctly. I am certain of it. I was born inside this. It's a part of my birth mother.
She will now leave the manor and travel to the dungeon below to discover the truth with her own eyes. Informing Tanith of her absence worries her. She still considers herself a mother to Zarias.
May I ask your aid? Not as the manor's proprietress, but as Zarias' mother.
However, what she asks of you next is... I have no words.
If she discovers the answer to her question, and it causes distress, have her drink this potion, to purge that which would cause her pain.
A tonic of forgetfulness. She wants to wipe Zarias' memory. Tanith has been constantly deceptive, but she makes it clear that she's doing all of this just to protect her daughter.
Yes, I know. My wish is a grave disrespect to her.
And she's kind of right. As her mother, she knows that the truth will destroy her daughter.
I was an unwanted child, born not of grace, but of a hideous ritual. Something that can never be accepted. Not by men, nor serpents. Kill me, please. Free me from this accursed frame.
So you can either choose to make her forget this information, kill her, or do nothing. All interesting but unpleasant choices. But for the sake of explaining the story, we're not going to act on this. We're going to confront the one responsible, Rykard. If you have followed Tanith's orders and completed all of the contracts, you will be invited to an audience with her master.
I will transport you to the Lord's chamber. May your visit be fruitful.
And as we enter this area, the legend from earlier is true. A god-devouring snake creature lies here in the mountain. And after the first phase, we can see the scaly face of Rykard fused into its body. And then he delivers the iconic line.
Join myself and King as family. Together we will devour the very god.
This meeting was a ploy. Tanith knew all along that you weren't just going to talk with Rykard. You were intended to be a sacrifice. See, in their belief system, it's an honourable thing. You are a champion. Having defeated all of these other Tarnished, your strength will contribute to making Rykard even more powerful. Only the strongest can survive. That is the belief of Volcano Manor. But because we were able to defeat Rykard, this explains the odd reaction that Tanith has when you return to her after the battle.
You've defeated our lord. No. I must thank you. Our lord was yet weak. You have taught us that.
There is no sadness, no anger, just the realization that Rykard wasn't as strong as she had believed. However, Tanith believes, despite Rykard being dead, that this is not actually the end for him.
Defeat is not the end. Our lord is immortal, and will one day rise again, stronger.
And after reloading the area, she will no longer be in her usual seat. She will be in the boss area, and at first I thought she was mourning the loss of her master, but she is actually eating his body.
Oh, you... Allow me some time. Our lord's carcass is vast, and not easily consumed.
Just like Rykard consumed others, Tanith will now consume him in the hopes of him living on inside of her.
Dear Rykard, please, find purchase within me. I wish to be your serpent, your family. One day, let us devour the gods together.
Now, was this done because Tanith was so loyal to Rykard and to the cult? Or was it because that she loved him? See, the tonic of forgetfulness from earlier wasn't an item that was originally intended for Zarias. It was actually given to Tanith by Rykard. My lord, there could be no greater distress than to forget you. Rykard gave her this tonic possibly when he swore himself to blasphemy. He knew he would be committing himself to being consumed by a snake, and maybe he wanted Tanith to forget the horrors of what were to come. But Tanith refused. She wished to keep her memories because she had nothing to fear. She put all of her trust into Rykard. But how did she become this devoted in the first place? Long ago, when Rykard first set eyes on Tanith, she was working as a dancer in a foreign land. Soon, he made her his consort. She was the only human to remain by his side when he became the Serpent of Blasphemy. In that moment, Tanith was truly charmed by him. The irony is that the snake is the one charming and not the human. Regardless, it's clear that Tanith was obsessed with Rykard and stayed with him until the very end. A sad little detail is that after you've defeated Rykard and go to Patch's shop, he sells quite an out-of-place item, dancers' castanets, used by dancers from foreign lands, the same foreign lands that Tanith originated from. And the connection is confirmed because you can actually show her this instrument when she is consuming Rykard.
What is it? I have no need of that. I must continue devouring my beloved lord.
Now, either she is too fixated on her task, focused on consuming her master, or perhaps she no longer remembers her past life before she met Rykard. Or maybe she just doesn't care for it any longer. She has found her new purpose. She doesn't have the time to be sentimental. This whole concept reminds me of Ouroboros. You may be familiar with this symbol originating from Egyptian iconography. It depicts a serpent eating its own tail, and it's commonly interpreted as a symbol of an infinite cycle of destruction and renewal. The snake will never disappear. It will forever be recreated over and over again, like Rykard's last words.
I servant never die.
Now, after defeating Rykard, if you return to where Zarias was last, she will thank you for your kindness for not killing her. This is the ending you get when you choose not to take any action. Arguably the best ending. And this is because when you reload the area, she will be gone, leaving a letter behind to say, I wish to set out on a journey so that one day I can carry on Mother's work. Be the proud daughter of Tanith of Volcano Manor. Farewell. You have been so kind, so uncompromising, my champion. And she also leaves behind a strange item, Dedekar's woe. Disturbing likeness of a woman whose skin was flayed. She smiles with serene tenderness. It is said that this woman, named Dedekar, indulged in every form of adultery and wicked pleasure imaginable, giving birth to a myriad of grotesque children. Now, why does Zarias leave this? Well, this woman may have been her mother, her birth mother, and Zarias being one of these children in question. The birth ritual mentioned in the Amnion would have taken place here below the manor in these secret torture chambers. The flayed skin is a parallel to how snakes shed their skin. The flaying isn't described as a punishment per se. I think what is taking place in the manor is the most blasphemous acts possible as a way to spite the gods, engaging in pain, pleasure, and birthing deformed children. This is what Tanith was trying to hide, but in the end Zarias found out anyway, and she left the Dedekar's woe behind as a signal that she knew, but that she wasn't ashamed. Despite maybe knowing that Dedekar is her real mother, she still recognises Tanith as her true mother, calling herself the proud daughter. And with all of this information, she simply chooses to move on and live her life. Rykard was once an honourable figure. His previous title was Praetor, which means a magistrate, a very high-ranking position. But somewhere along the way, he became too power-hungry, letting a giant snake devour him in order to become stronger, and his people abandoned him, all but Tanith. His end goal was to become so powerful enough that he could rise up against the Erd Tree. And this might have happened if we had let him consume us. How close he was to achieving this goal is going to remain unknown. But what do you think about Rykard's cause? Do you agree with his mission to rebel against oppression? Or do you think he went too far? Please let me know your thoughts. And as always, thank you so much to my channel members. Reeses5, Jawbite, Manu999, Kyle Coldwell, Grim, Hellborn Hero, Ratoyo Blom, Living Like Dave, Exiled Turtle, Mr. Radballs, Bloodfallen223, Kichu, Jeremy Woodall, Monkaru, Nick, Sam Fanny, Azael, Mason Godbold, and Medium Rare Pancake. Thank you guys so much.